Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamila, the Winged Alchemist, and today I am going to bring you 7 tiny habits that quantum shift your reality fast. And I assure you, you're gonna wanna stick around for this video because I'm not going to just tell you the basic 7 things that we hear all the time on every single quantum shift video. So stick around, and I promise you by the ending of this video, you'll have some very real actionable steps that you can start doing today, okay? So without further ado, let's get into it. So if you've been feeling stuck, like no matter what you do, no matter what mindset you try to shift to or what habit you try to shift to, everything just still feels the same, I'm here to tell you that you're not doing anything wrong. So it's okay, stop beating yourself up. It's happening because you have not learned to shift on a quantum level. Now, most people think massive change takes massive effort, and the truth is, like, the smallest, most subtle shifts in your daily habits are essentially what completely realigns your energy, your identity, and it really helps you to shift timelines. Now, when you get these micro shifts, these micro habits right, your entire reality begins to shift fast, almost like magic. And I'm saying this because of the alchemist effect, but it really does happen very fast. And anyways, today I'm just gonna share just 7 very simple, very tiny, but powerful habits to quantum shift your life. And I really felt like I needed to do this video because some of these things I had to do myself, okay? You might have noticed I have not been vlogging as often as I was. I found myself in a bit of a stagnant place. I felt a little bit stuck mentally, emotionally, and physically because I did have a housemate, which whom I love so much, but I'm just the kind of girl that needs her space, y'all. I'm a bit of an introvert. I really need my space to be able to expand and open up myself to where I'm like doing my practices. And I just haven't been able to do it to the level that I'm used to being able to do it because I had a housemate, which whom I love. Like I'm telling you, it wasn't them, it was me completely. But I found myself in a bit of a stagnant place. And I had to like force myself to really get some things done. It wasn't from a place of flow. So I'm going to show you how I got back into this space of flow and into just shifting completely where I was in just one night, okay? So let's just, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the very first thing that I want to get into is something that is so underrated when it comes to like transformation, and it's zinc. I know you're like, zinc, the mineral? Seriously? Yes, girl and guys, seriously. Zinc is literally one of the most underrated minerals for deep transformation. And let me tell you why. Zinc actually directly impacts your hormone balance, okay? If I'm looking down, these are my notes, okay? If I don't stick to my notes, I'm gonna talk until the cows come home. And let me tell you something, the cows don't live here, so it might be for a long time, but nonetheless, I digress. The first is hormone balance. The second is mental clarity, and the third is immune support. when your zinc is depleted, when your zinc mineral levels are like really low in the body, you can suffer from mental fog, emotional imbalance, fatigue, hormonal imbalance, and also feeling disconnected from your intuition. You're probably wondering, like, how would zinc connect you to your intuition? And it's because zinc has such a powerful impact on your glands, on your master gland, your pituitary gland, okay, on your pineal gland, okay, on your adrenal glands, okay, on your reproductive glands, okay. And this is not just for women, this is also for men. So let's kind of go down the list. Your pituitary gland controls, basically, it controls your hormonal flow. The pineal gland enhances intuition, inner vision, and it connects you to your higher or highest timeline. Your adrenal glands is all about stress and power. So it helps you to hold more energy. It helps you to reduce burnout. It also helps you to sustain high frequency states of being. Sustain. So pituitary or pineal gland will get you there, right? And then the adrenal glands are going to help hold you there, like continuously. Okay. The fourth is your reproductive glands. Now, as a woman, I noticed with my cycle how far apart that they were growing. Like, your cycles should be between 28 and like 35 days. Mine were between 35 and 45 days, which is my body telling me that I'm like missing some minerals that it needs in order to balance out, you know, my cycle. And I randomly came upon zinc and started researching it and realized, like, man, I should be taking about 20 milligrams per day. But I digress. This is really a video for another time. Let's focus on how zinc positively influences your reproductive glands as a woman and a man. Now, as a woman, it supports your ovaries, okay, your womb health, and it also clears stagnation when it comes to sexual and creative energy, okay? For men, it strengthens prostate health, sperm quality, and overall energetic stamina, okay? Those are very powerful things. And again, it's funny because the week while I was researching all of this, we had a retreat post session. You know, since the retreat, we've been meeting every Sunday. And in the session, Wayne just randomly, having not talked about it, Wayne randomly was like, hey, y'all need to get yourself some zinc. And I was like, yo, I'm on the frequency that I'm supposed to be on, because why out of all days was that day the day Wayne came up and was like, get you some zinc. Now, if you're feeling deficient, like if you're deficient in zinc, what you might notice is mental fog, slow healing, a lack of motivation, irregular cycles, and emotional instability. These are all things that has a massive impact on the reality that you perceive, okay? Massive impact. I know for myself, it had a massive impact on how I was seeing myself. Like, my self-concept was kind of skewed during those stagnant moments because I'm believing there's something wrong with me, I'm doing something wrong. You know, I'm like taking in all this extra chitter chatter that my mind is producing. And it had a massive impact on how I was showing up with you on my YouTube. You guys know, like, I have goals when it comes to my YouTube channel. I have goals when it comes to just the things that I'm working on and the things that I'm like, you know, in the process of manifesting in my life, right? So anyways, those are the things that you want to look out for. And if you're noticing any of these symptoms, I suggest you look into getting you some zinc. And I don't mean like 1 to 2 milligrams. Like, really do your research and see how much you should be taking as a woman or as a man, depending on the specific issues that you're noticing. Okay. And I just want to remind you guys, like, a well-nourished body creates a stable energy field. And when your foundation is strong, your reality shifts faster. So let's move on to number 2. The second thing that I have been doing are womb massages. Again, I'm a woman, so tuning into like my sexual organs and connecting with this space, again, your like zone of creativity, massaging and letting go of any extra tension in these areas has been also very much game changer. Now, one thing that I want to say is this does not, again, only apply to just women. Men need to be doing their massages as well. The lower belly spaces for all genders is the portal between spirit and physical manifestation. The other day, I met one of my elders or mentors, really big businessman. And he was asking me, like, what do I do? And I was telling him, I am a coach. I'm someone that kind of flies solo. And I don't know, he was able to read my energy. I mean, these big businessmen are not just big businessmen because they don't know anything about the world or reality or even people or spirituality. But he was like, he said something along the lines of creating from my lower belly, something like that. He said something about lower belly and like manifestation or creating my life or my world or something like that. And I said, he knows spirituality. When you listen and you can read between the lines, you can see a lot more of a person, especially if you guys are speaking the same language. And I don't just mean like literally speaking the same language, right? Anyway, why it's important to like massage the womb space, like prostate glands, and like really get up into these spaces is because it stores your creativity, emotion, and deep intuition in these spaces, okay? And when it's neglected, which the majority of us neglect this space, the majority of us are not smiling and sending like deep love and appreciation into these spaces. And here's the thing, I need to say this, because a lot of us don't realize how much our bodies are in survival mode. We are literally walking through or living through our days every single day in this state of survival. And the majority of us, our sexual organs are in that state as well. State of survival to me automatically says stagnation, especially for a continued state of survival. Of course, survival mode, when it's used in its like most authentic state, is there to move you out of a dangerous situation, right? But when there is no dangerous situation and you are just constantly holding on to this state of being, right there, the word stagnation comes up. Right there, the word emotional residue comes up. Right there, the word unprocessed trauma comes up. So like just, unprocessed trauma comes up. And why a lot of people struggle with things like tapping into their abundance or creativity or feeling safe in their bodies is because their sacral chakra is blocked. So taking the time to like massage my womb, I'll tell you exactly the oils that I use. I actually mix together neem oil. I mix it with castor oil, and then I also mix it with a little bit of lavender oil. I mix lavender in everything. I just love lavender. That's what I use. And it's like, if you don't have any of these oils, it's fine. What you really want to do is just intentionally massage these spaces, intentionally smile into these spaces. Why do I say smile? Because the subtle shift in just like turning the corners of your corners of your lips or your mouth up, like when you smile just very subtly, is you activating the parasympathetic aspect of your nervous system. This is you beginning to regulate your nervous system. So when you smile into the womb space, or you smile into, your sexual organs, or into the sacral chakra, when you smile into these spaces, you are allowing this survival mode, this state of survival, to basically, for you to let go of it, and for you to welcome in calmness, for you to welcome in peace, for you to welcome in a regulated state. And what happens while you're doing this? Well, one, it increases circulation to your reproductive organs. That's so important. It also helps to balance your hormones naturally. It also helps to move stuck emotional energy that's stored in these spaces. And need I remind you, your sexual energy is really your creative energy. It's your life force energy. It's your Jing, actually. Jing in Taoist philosophy is your sexual creative life force energy. The same energy that is used to create a baby is the same energy that is used to produce a new reality. Like, it's important. This is why we don't just go around spreading our energy around. And what I mean by that is sexual discernment, right? When this space, your sexual organs, your sacral chakra is clear, you are able to manifest with ease, because you are deeply connected to your intuition. You're deeply connected to your creativity. Your hormones are balanced, okay? Your mood shifts. You feel good in your body. Your body is not tense, okay? Your cells are not tense. Your DNA is not trying to protect itself. It's actually able to open like a flower, like a lotus flower, okay? It's able to open up and to express itself through you, as you, into this world. And I want to even, I might do another video on this too, but, what is your highest timeline? Your highest timeline is only known by the creator, okay? By the supreme, by source. And when you open yourself to be a channel for source, you'll be surprised how high that timeline is. You'll be surprised what you will be able to manifest in your reality when you're able to let go and to just simply allow yourself to express itself on so many different dimensions. Source is truly able to express itself through you. You become a conduit to your highest self. And that is what puts you on a whole other frequency, because, honey, Source only wants the best for you, and the best for you is only going to impact and influence everyone and everything around you. So what I can suggest is every night before bed or after you shower, grab you some oil, okay? Speak into this oil. I am open to receive. I am a vessel of divine creation. I release all stagnant energy blocking my power. Speak into this oil. Rub your palms together and massage the space. As you massage the space, see your ovaries, see your testicles, see it in your mind's eye, and see yourself sending all of this beautiful, relaxing, nervous system regulating energy into the space, especially before bed. But whenever you can, just do it. Because when you activate this space, you open the gateway to more pleasure, you open the gateway to creativity, and you open the gateway to manifestation. So the third thing that I've been doing, just randomly, I haven't been lighting candles here because it's kind of hot, right? It's hot. A lot of candles are actually very toxic, at least the ones that are being produced and sold in stores these days. I've not been doing some of the deep spiritual things that I used to do, even 3 years ago. I've been doing qigong, and I've been working with my own energy. But as for using things outside of myself, I haven't really been doing much of that other than tuning forks. So recently I decided to start lighting a candle before bed, turning off all the screens, plugging my phone in over there, putting my phone over there, lighting my candle over there, getting in my bed and just gazing at this candle, tuning into the movements of the candle, tuning in, like seeing the aura grow on the candle. First you see like the more dense aura around it, then you can really use your senses and allow your senses to expand and just look at it, just view it, connect with this flame, connect with this fire. Fire represents transformation. Fire is literal alchemy. The more that you gaze at this like flame, the more your brain shifts into a theta state of being. And this is such a powerful state because in this state, you are able to rewire your subconscious. Now, I've been deciding to do this before bed and sometimes in the morning. If I wake up when the sun has not, peaked yet, I will light the candle in the morning. But I'm asking you to do this very subtle micro habit, and is just to light the candle in your room before bed, a small one, like a tea light candle. And what I've noticed is it has blown my subconscious open. Every single night, I'm telling you, every single night I dream. And the types of dreams that I've been having, like the first dream that first night that came up was freaking interesting. It was like these beings were there and the beings were like, listen, sis, we have given you assignment and we need you to take heed. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And they were like, we have been protecting you. We have been providing for you. We have been showing up. So yo ass, they didn't say it like this, but yo ass needs to show up right now. This is the exchange. This is the agreement. And I was like, no, this is not something that I want to do, but okay, I'll do it. That's where I was in the dream. Now, I don't know if this was like something happening in an alternate reality, because we all know alternate realities are a thing, or if this was like a subconscious, like God is trying to send me a message through these beings. I don't know. But either way, I'm like, you know what? Let me get out of this this place of like stagnancy that I was feeling. That was the very first night that I was like, okay, I need to get out of this. So what if I have a housemate? Like, so what if these things are shifting? So what if I feel like I've been grieving an aspect of myself? Video for another time. Maybe I'll do that one next. So what? It is time to decide. Essentially, it is time to decide. And what helped me to decide was definitely that dream. I made a choice to light the candle. I had that dream and it got me thinking. Okay, it obviously sent me a message because it got me thinking. I think we all know this, but like shamans, oracles, anyone who's into deep spirituality use fire to receive like divine messages, clarity, all the things, right? And I feel like that was exactly what I got. The second night, I didn't even tell my girl this yet, but the second night was like Jaleesa and we were like talking and we were like, listen, there is way too much money. We were looking at it. We were like, there is way too much money in the field for us to feel like things are running out. You know what I mean? Like that was another one. Like it's not that I feel like money is running out, but there's something that I'm supposed to be shifting like my focus towards that is essentially going to bring in more abundance. And hey, I'm open for it. I'm here for it. The subconscious seems to be there, rewiring, reworking. The next night I had a dream that I like owned this Jamaican patty shop here in Ghana, I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It was a dream. All the details weren't there. But the point is, it was like a new business venture that came online. And I'm just receiving all of this information. And I kid you not, all of January, I was not having this experience. I was like in a state of grief and also in a state of stagnation. Now, it's possible that I needed to move through this like state of grief because there are a lot of things ending. But again, that's a video for another time. But it was time for me to get moving, and working with fire is actually very, very powerful. So yeah, 5 to 10 minutes before bed, just light the candle, gaze at it, notice what thoughts come to mind, just observe the flame. That is it. Observe the flame, blow it out, or you can keep it running. I do both, and go to bed, and you will actually have a very good sleep. I'll tell you that. One thing that I'm also going to tell you to do is to tell yourself what you want as you're watching this flame. Tonight when I go to sleep, make it clear what my blocks are. What should my next steps be? All of those types of questions, I want you to state it when you are looking at the flame, and then go to sleep, release, and receive, okay? Fire actually clears mental fog, it opens your intuitive channels, and it shifts reality at a deep level. Micro habit number 4. This has been always a game changer. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before, and it's scripting, but it's not actually scripting, okay? It's you scripting, except in your mind's eye. Let's call it not scripting. Let's call it directing. Ooh, I like that. What I just recently started doing again lately is, of course, I've been waking up, like my day starts by 6. Sometimes it starts by 5, but most days by 6 o'clock, I'm up and I'm like, either I'm lighting this candle or I'm figuring out like what workout I feel like doing today, right? But what I've been doing is around 1 o'clock, I tend to feel like I need like this power nap. And so whenever I feel like I need this power nap, I allow myself to take that nap. Now, everyone may not have this opportunity, but again, all you really need is 5 minutes. You can take 5 minutes on your lunch break, and you can do this as long as you have a space where you can relax completely and start directing. So when I take this nap, I obviously, lay down, I relax, and I project myself into the timeline, into the highest frequency timeline that resonates with me. Whether it is me placing myself in like the desired reality that lives in my heart, like I literally go into my heart and I live this reality, or I allow source to plant me in what that highest timeline really truly is. And what makes this so powerful is when I take these power naps, and I kid you not, these power naps can be anywhere from like 15 minutes to an hour. It all depends on how much time I have on my hands or like what's happening that day. But one thing that I want you to, I just want to remind you is the subconscious has no idea the difference between memory and imagination. When you are, you go into this state of directing your reality, not scripting, okay? This is separate from scripting. I'm very serious about this. When you go into directing and using your imagination to direct the scene, the reality, your brain starts to accept it as reality, okay? And that's exactly what we want. What you direct within your mind's eye, fully live in it, is literally you creating your tomorrow. Now, if those of you, once you've directed the reality, or once source has shown you this reality that resonates with you on a cellular level, on a deep intuitive level, then you can go ahead and write it down. That's still also a very powerful thing. Language is very powerful. So when you write it out, it kind of manifests it into the physical world through your writing. And that's awesome as well. But I have to tell you to direct it inside first. direct it inside. Literally code your cells with this reality that you're like essentially, speaking into the womb of source. Moving on, the fifth thing, which I kind of already mentioned, but this thing is literally, if you're feeling stuck, you need to shake yourself up. Shake your body, okay? Whether you're like literally shaking your body, as women, a lot of us need to like shake our breasts. Shake, shake, shake. It's like an amazing form of therapy when it comes to releasing any stagnant energy in the body. Stretch your body, do your qigong or your breath work, work out, whatever it is, do it. Go for walks, whatever it is, but move your body. Move your body. I can't even tell you that enough. Even when you don't feel like it. Okay? When you don't feel like it is probably the time when you need to do it the most, because let me tell you something, you're not always going to be motivated to do something. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and it goes, right? It comes and it goes. Sometimes you need to do the thing first for you to call that motivation back to you. We all know this. It's like when you haven't gone to the gym in like 6 months, or you haven't worked out in 6 months, that first day ain't always a motivated day. You know what I mean? Like, you're not motivated to get back into this routine. But once you start doing it, you're like, man, I'm so glad I did this. I feel so motivated after the workout is over. It's hilarious. But really, all you're doing is just letting go, again, of some energy. It doesn't take much. Every morning when you wake up, just shake your body. Shake your body. If you're not one to work out and it's just not your thing, just shake your body. Just shake your body and feel the release. Movement in the body means movement in reality, okay? You are literally moving your reality. Almost like, oh my gosh, the picture I'm getting in my mind is like a slide. Like those old TV movie slides, like literally. That's what's happening. A lot of us think that time travel is like you have to step into some like Back to the Future apparatus. No. Time travel happens within this apparatus. If you didn't know, this is the highest technology made by source that like most people cannot and probably will never figure out. This is your time travel machine. This is it. So learn it and use it, okay? Now, the sixth thing that I started doing, which is one that you probably all always hear, it's getting off of your phone. Get off the social medias. I have to say this because the excessive scrolling makes it harder for you to hold deep presence. The excessive scrolling makes it hard for you to focus your mind, okay? And focus is the biggest thing that you need if you want to quantum shift your reality. You have to know how to focus your mind so you can magnetize the end result of like what's on the other end of that like thought, or that like focused thought, if that makes sense. Like, hopefully I'm like explaining these things in a coherent way. But get off your phones, y'all. Get off your phones. Start going and doing things. Start cooking, your food. Start being very present. Do things that make you feel present. Okay? That's like the most important thing. When you're taking in too much information, the mind goes haywire. It's like, oh my God, it's too much, survival mode. And I feel this, and I think we all know the exact moment when we're like, okay, this is just too much, let me put this phone down. Listen to that. I'm not saying don't enjoy social media. Enjoy all the things, enjoy them, but use them with discernment. If it's something that you really want to change, if you really want to change your reality and you're serious about it, you're going to put that phone down. You are going to carve out the time that you're using over scrolling. You're going to use that time to focus your mental and your creative energy. Okay? The seventh thing, which is like one of the biggest things for me, because it's deep spiritual work that, again, I used to do, but I haven't been doing lately. Like, I haven't been doing a lot of the like big manifestation rituals or ceremonies that I do at home, but it's something I'm going to encourage you to do, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it right now. You want to take back your power through ritual and ceremony. It's an energetic reset and a timeline shift. I want you to understand, now I really made notes here. I want you to understand that ritual is not just a symbolic thing, okay? Ritual is a direct command to the subconscious and the universe to realign your energy. Now, I think that we all know from like the beginning of time, fire, herbs, and offerings have been used across all ancient traditions to release, transform, and transmute energy. So when you speak over your herbs, when you speak over smoke or fire, you are in the process of reprogramming your reality. Smoke actually carries intention into the unseen realms. It is literally the direct bridge between your inner world and your external shifts. When you burn herbs and set intention, it activates energy. And when you release something through ritual, your nervous system actually registers this as real. And something else that also needs to be said is like fire and smoke actually clears stagnant auric residue. So it literally clears your aura. Your aura is like your magnetism, okay? It clears any stagnant residue that's like hidden in the aura, any like darker spots in the aura. If there's any of you that can actually see and read auras, and I'll tell you this, the more you actually gaze at the flame, the more you gaze at a flame and the more you tune into the aura around the flame, the more you train yourself to see the aura around people. And sometimes you're able to see, or maybe just intuitively tap into the fact that there are some like dark, murky, like spots or areas within a person's aura. And that right there will show you that there's some energetic stagnation happening, which reflects the psychological as well. It's actually been proven that using things like sage can actually clear up to 94% of airborne bacteria. Okay, so use your smoke, speak to it, okay? Speak to it, allow the smoke to carry this intention into unseen realms. Carry this intention directly to source. And yes, you don't have to do any of these things. Yes, you can use your own mind to do these things. However, we are humans. We get caught in low vibrational frequencies, and sometimes you need to use external things to help you focus your mental and emotional energy in order to quantum shift your reality. That's what these things are there for. So don't shun it, because I'm going to tell you, one of the reasons why I stopped a lot of my deep spiritual practice is because I felt like I didn't need anything outside of myself. And I was right. There is no lie there. I do not need anything outside of myself. But I'm not ashamed to say that using some of these things, physical things outside of myself, in a very spiritual and a very intentional way actually helps me to like focus my energy. It helps me to command my subconscious. It literally helps me to command my subconscious. And on a metaphysical level, doing all these things actually has a direct impact on the subconscious. So I'm gonna even tell you, the other day, like I said, I was in this like funk. There was a lot of things that were happening, around me, and it had me in a funk. I was feeling stuck. I was not in my highest timeline at all. As a matter of fact, I felt like I was plummeting. And lighting that candle was like the first step. Then I was like, you know what? I have a lot of spiritual like herbs here. I have mpepo, which is like native to South Africa. I have another herb here. I don't remember the name, but it's native to Ghana. I have peppercorn seeds, which if any of you are like into like, you know, deep spirituality, you know that when you work with pepper, you really trying to say some shit. You really trying to say some shit that like really needs to be said and like law laid down into the ethers. So you can use it for like protection. I was using devil's claw for protection. I was using the impepo to clear. I then I put 4 on the coal and 1 hilariously jumped out. And I remember the shaman who I got it from was like, listen, you only need about 2 or 3 of these things. So I had 3 peppercorns and I said, listen, I am letting go of this negative energy that has been existing in my field, or I am sending it back to whoever sent it my way. Because yes, sometimes people can send some stuff your way just from having low negative thoughts of you, and it attaches to you if you are not vibrating high enough. And again, I'm human. I get caught up in these states too. So all I did was I spoke over these herbs. I placed it on the coal. I spoke into, you know, the smoke. I cleared my aura with it. I cleared my room, my bed space, like I cleared it all. I like coded the intention and I went to sleep. And I kid you not, the next day I woke up feeling great. I woke up feeling so much better. And my clients can attest to this because, you know, when I'm feeling some type of way, I'm honest about it because I want people to know I am just like you, honey. I am just like you. And these are the tools that I use to work through these moments. And this is how I catch myself from actually hitting rock bottom. Very far from rock bottom, by the way. But the fact that I was on a downcline, I was grieving an aspect of myself, and I was allowing myself to exist in this grieving state far too long. It went from grieving to feeling sorry for myself to feeling like, you know, just all the low vibrational thoughts. What am I doing? Am I worthy? All those things that I really don't need to be sitting in those states. Like, you know what I mean? I really do not need to be there. So that's what I did. And this is something that I'm going to continue doing at least once a week, at least every 2 weeks, on the new moon, on a full moon. I mean, it's important to use these like astrological events because you get to also use and like siphon the energy towards whatever it is that you're intending. So let like this number 7 be a testament to the fact that ceremony is literally how we communicate with unseen forces that actually shapes our lives, okay? It's important. So create your own ceremony. It doesn't have to look like what I did. It can look like whatever you want it to look like, but still do it. It doesn't matter if it's a bonfire, whatever, just do it, okay? Incorporate that into your, this might not be a daily habit, but a weekly habit or a bi-weekly habit. It's still a micro habit that has a very powerful impact on the subconscious and on shifting your reality. It's all about quantum shifting, okay? And that's it. Those are my 7 things. I mean, some of them are very subtle, some of them might be quite deep, but I want to leave you with this. Your highest frequency reality is truly something only Source knows. You could not perceive your highest frequency reality. And a lot of us, while yes, I may talk about personal power, but a lot of us get caught up in personal power trying to will source, trying to will God. And what we want to do is align with it. When you align with it, it means you are open and you have surrendered. You have surrendered to your highest self. You have surrendered to source, because source is only going to provide for you exactly what it wants for you. And it only wants you to have what it is: abundance, love. High frequency, like highest frequency timeline is a timeline, for me, at least for me, where there's infinite love, there's infinite resources, there's like abundance on abundance on abundance. Okay, there's true authenticity, honesty, truth, support, protection, you know, all these things. And I want all these things for you, but you gotta want them for yourself first. So as you're like doing these things to support your being, to support your mental, your emotional, and your physical, you are also opening yourself up to the divine. And again, as you open yourself up to the divine, an infinite amount of possibilities lay themselves before you. And all you have to do is decide. Okay, so if you like this video, like the video. If you have any other things that you do to quantum shift, let me know, okay? Because I want to hear it, because I want to learn from you too. You know, I have some things in my toolbox, but I want to know what's in your toolbox. And I don't know, if you're new here, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.